Hello, I'm Laura Painter. You're watching an ABC 10 Plus recap of stories you may have missed. We have the latest on the Esparto fireworks warehouse explosion investigation. Also, why a San Joaquin Valley farmer is asking for help picking his crop. Then we hit the back roads. John Bartel takes us to the Kern River Valley to look for paranormal activity in the Silver City ghost town. ABC 10 Plus Tonight starts right now.
Turning to Yolo County now, tonight marks 9 days since the deadly explosion at a fireworks warehouse in Esparto. The blast burned 80 acres, destroyed buildings, and forced evacuations, which are still in effect. 7 people were killed, including young workers, a father-to-be, a recent high school graduate, and families have identified 5 of the 7 victims to ABC 10. However, DNA testing is still ongoing. The Federal Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives and California's State Fire Marshal are leading the investigation into the cause of the explosion. Now, we have been speaking with family members of the victims who say that they are just completely desperate for answers. ABC 10's Becca Habegger joins us live in studio now. And Becca, they say that they haven't received any meaningful information from what you're hearing.
Yeah, family members want to know how this deadly explosion was ever able to happen, what safety measures were lacking, and who was responsible. They say they are waiting on the answers to those questions and so many more.
He loved to play around, dance, he loved to joke around with everybody. He loved to hug everybody. And he just always had a smile on his face, no matter what.
Lupe Melendez Mendoza is remembering the son she lost on July 1st, Joel Melendez Jr.
Everybody called him Junior.
Larry Sullivan is Junior's uncle.
It's just really hard to think of him as being gone now. It's like we just saw each other not too long ago.
Junior had a wife and baby boy with another son on the way. He worked at the fireworks facility that exploded in the Yolo County community of Esparto, killing 7.
It's just a lot of grief, a lot of hurt, and just no answers.
9 days later, family members say they're still desperate for information.
I understand the fire marshal has to keep some things confidential, but it just seems to me that there's been absolutely nothing coming out from any agency whatsoever that would give any kind of comfort or any kind of understanding to this entire event. How did this happen? How could things have gotten that bad that you have what, from the air at least, looked like a thermonuclear blast? That's ridiculous. And these kids were destroyed in the prime of their life. They were just kids.
I love my son. He's just not somebody just to be forgotten and blown up like that and just thrown away. I need answers. He meant too much to me.
Was that a safe facility? Did it have its proper permits? There's a lot of security concerns here, and no one's saying anything.
They say Junior felt safe at work. ABC 10 has learned a Yolo County Sheriff's Office employee owns the property where the facility was located. We've previously reported Lieutenant Sam Machado lived on the property and lost his home in the explosion and subsequent fire.
To me, the fact that they had a sheriff's officer owning the property, that's a possible conflict of interest right there.
They say the family is speaking with an attorney about possible evidence of safety concerns that existed prior to the explosion. They want whoever is responsible to be held accountable.
The owners, they have children possibly, and their children mean a lot to them. Whoever is responsible, your child, look at them. My child meant that much to me, and I don't know how I'm going to go on without him.
Junior was 28 years old. Now we're still waiting on the Yolo County coroner to officially identify all 7 victims. I've asked Yolo County and CAL FIRE, the lead agency on this investigation, when we can expect to learn that information. CAL FIRE declined to say, and we haven't yet heard back from Yolo County despite reaching out to a spokesperson over the course of the past 2 days. Alex?
All right, Becca, thank you. And we do have continuing coverage of the Esparto fire right now on our ABC 10 Plus TV streaming app. That app is free to download to your TV.
Tonight, 170 people are still missing in the Texas flood disaster. The hope of finding survivors is fading. At least 120 people are dead.
But tonight, new questions about the timeliness of emergency alerts. Officials waited 90 minutes to warn people about the flooding. Jacqueline Lee has more from Texas.
Serious questions mounting about the delay in emergency alerts ahead of the devastating flash flooding in Texas.
Those questions are going to be answered. I believe those questions need to be answered to the family of the missed loved ones, to the public.
Our ABC News affiliate KSAT obtaining this recording of a first responder at 4:22 a.m. on July 4th, asking an emergency alert to be sent out to Kerr County residents.
A Guadalupe Shoemaker sign is now underwater on Highway 39. Is there any way we can send a code red out to our Hunt residents asking them to find higher ground or stay home?
We have to get that approved with our supervisor.
The dispatcher hesitant. That code red pushes an alert to cell phones. It wasn't sent for another 90 minutes. Some residents not receiving it until 10 a.m., which was already too late.
Our city of Kerrville and Kerr County leadership are committed to a transparent and full review of processes and protocols. But our entire focus since day one has been on rescue and reunification.
Olesia McAllen-Chomik searching around the clock for her missing cousin.
Yeah, just kind of like in the middle of the night, they got swept away. And yeah, so that's why we're here now. We're just trying to find them. And we found, for our family, it's like the main person is still unfound. So we're trying to find them.
And for the survivors, Doug and Libby Evans Fuller returned to their homes for the first time since the deadly floods ripped through Kerr County.
We were on the mattress of the bed, floating, this far from the ceiling.
I grabbed my hand in my pants and grabbed me to the pillar, and we just held on for a couple more hours.
Yeah, a couple hours, and
until the water actually subsided all by itself and we could touch the ground again.
And you can see just how thick this debris is. Search and rescue crews going through this inch by inch to recover anybody still lost. And of course, residents really pushing officials as to why earlier alerts were not given. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News, Kerrville, Texas.
And we do have a special look at the lives lost and the legacy of Camp Mystic. It's streaming now on the free ABC10 Plus TV streaming app. You can find Tragedy at Camp Mystic on the home screen.
Here at ABC10, we care about the lives devastated across Central Texas. You can donate to our Tegna Relief Fund by scanning the QR code on your screen. Right now, your money goes directly to flood victims who need help. You can also find information on how to donate on our website, abc10.com, and on our app. A family in Patterson is desperate to sell their apricots after the company that normally buys their entire crop said they no longer plan to.
Yeah, ABC10's Gabriel Porras has a closer look.
Under a scorching sun in Stanislaus County, apricots are ripening. And Denise Fantazi's family
It has been extra busy, yes.
is hard at work.
My husband actually bought this farm from his grandmother way back in 1980. And so we've been growing apricots for years.
But few of those years compare to this one.
This year we have a really bumper crop, a very large crop. We had about 500 tons. We've been selling the fruit to the same company for several years and never had an issue.
Until now.
Everything was moving along as normal. We were speaking to the representative from the company who said the bins would be arriving soon. And when they didn't show up, my husband called and asked what was going on. And we found out actually that part of the company had been sold to another company and they weren't going to process the apricots.
Suddenly, hundreds of tons of ripe fruit and no one to take it.
Most of the food processors already have enough of apricots.
With the clock ticking, the Fantazis had to branch out.
We opened up our orchard to U-pick as well as the pre-picked apricots.
They put out the call on social media, hoping someone would answer.
All right, thank you.
And the community showed up.
We just have a small little farm here. It's a little off the beaten path. Sure. But in the last few days, we've had hundreds of people coming in.
People?
Where are you folks from?
Morgan Hill.
Like Alice O'Neill and her friends.
It's just heartbreaking that somebody would do that, to the family. So we said, let's go out and at least do our part.
We hope not the entire crop, of course, will be harvested, but a lot of it will be going to good use.
Beneath a baking sun, every box picked. Now a chance to save the season.
A lot of the fruit is ripening quickly now with this heat, so we want to be able to move as much of this fruit as we can. Time is of the essence for us.
In Patterson, Gabriel Porras, ABC 10.
So awesome to see the community response. The farm also reached out to local food banks to provide some extra food.
The U.S. is now seeing a 33-year high in measles cases, according to new CDC data. Most of the cases come from the 27 outbreaks reported this year, resulting in 3 deaths of unvaccinated people. The data show there are more than 1,200 confirmed cases of measles in 38 states nationwide, the highest number in more than 3 decades. It's also a huge spike from the 285 cases the CDC recorded last year. An overwhelming 92% of the cases nationwide this year have been among unvaccinated people or those with an unknown vaccination status. Since the pandemic, vaccination rates have dropped significantly among children and have been below the threshold of what's considered herd immunity for at least 4 years now.
To reach herd immunity, where the community is protected, you need 95% of individuals to be vaccinated. Our rates for the last several years for kindergartners have been around 93%. For most of us who've gotten vaccinated, there's no need for an additional shot or booster. For individuals born before 1957, they are also considered protected or immune because they were likely exposed.
Before the vaccine became available in 1963, an estimated 400 to 500 people died of measles, roughly 48,000 were hospitalized, and 1,000 suffered encephalitis or swelling of the brain each year.
Well, Sacramento County is opening a cooling center to help beat the heat. The Warren E. Thornton Youth Center in Sacramento is open today and tomorrow from 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. Now, before going to the center, be sure to call 211 just to check capacity. But as we bring in Chief Meteorologist Monica Woods, I have to say the summer heat has arrived.
Oh, it certainly has in big fashion. Throw out those calendars. We know it's summer.
And the state fair is arriving too, so we know that that is going to be happening. As far as our weather conditions, we are going to see a toasty one. Weather impact alert in effect Friday, Saturday, Sunday. For parts of the valley, we're talking highs between 95 and 110, and that weather impact alert continues through Sunday. For the capital region around Sacramento, poor air quality will contribute to our weather impact alert in place for Friday with a spare the air day in effect. Here's a look at the region that's under the heat advisory as well as our extreme heat warning. And you can see it largely extends into the northern part of the state, the central and northern part of the Sacramento Valley. And it's largely because not only we have the afternoon highs reaching 110, but overnight lows only cooling into the 70s to near 80. Highs so far for today right around 99 to 100 degrees throughout the region. 60s and 70s along the coast. San Francisco, a warm one there, 76 degrees, 90s in the foothills and 80s up top for the Sierra. Right now we have hazy skies, poor air quality and temperatures hovering in the upper 90s to low 100s in the region. Tahoe currently at 79. That sunset not until 8:32. So you know we got a couple of hours to go here with this type of heat. Our A's are in action once again against the Braves. Now tonight that first pitch is at 6:05. We'll see temperatures in the 100s and then slow cooling. We just don't have that big pull of Pacific air coming in. Instead, it's a north wind. That's what's pulling this smoke from the northern part of the state through the valley. A lot of folks have been asking me, where's this haziness coming from? It's from smoke, but also ozone. This is our ozone season. And so we're looking at that spare the air day for tomorrow. Something to keep in mind if you're headed out to the California State Fair. We will see those peak temperatures tomorrow. The hottest time of day is between 4 and 6 o'clock. Then we start that slow cooling. Now we have a little bit of moderation coming in for Saturday and Sunday. This is pretty much going to be the same thing for the Stanislaus County Fair as well. That's going on in Turlock. Opening gates again for tomorrow. Look at that summer heat ahead. High pressure ridge sinking warming air, and with that, it really pushes that smoke to the surface level and brings the heat. Once that moves overhead, though, a little farther to the north, we will pull in just a trickle of an onshore flow. What that means, folks that are close to that Delta breeze will cool a little bit on Saturday. The rest of us, we're going to keep it in the 100s this weekend. Highs in the 80s and 90s for the Tahoe Basin tomorrow, 90s and 100s throughout much of the foothills. Very little relief overnight. Highs are in the 60s along the coast to right around the 70s. Inland areas, we're still approaching the 100s for that Friday forecast. Again, morning lows start us off in the 50s and 60s. The only the kind of bad thing about this is that when we have the smoke in the area, it really doesn't clear much overnight. So normally I'd say get out in the morning and enjoy that morning walk, but it's very likely we're going to be dealing with some smoke tomorrow morning. Highs are going to cool a bit by next week, but we're really going to have to dig deeper into the forecast before we see more significant cooling. Of course, that weather impact alert in place for our Friday forecast, but next week we see those cooler temperatures. We're not even in record territory territory. Record for tomorrow, 114.
Oh my goodness. Well, we are far from that, but still lots to track. I mean, if all the outdoor activities, the smoke, the heat, listen to your body.
Yeah.
And speaking of outdoor activities, don't forget the Stanislaus County Fair starts tomorrow and it goes through the 20th. Doors open at 4 p.m. and stay open through midnight. On Saturdays and Sundays, you can get in starting at noon. Tickets are $12 for adults if you buy today. At the door, tickets are $15 each, and parking is $10.
Well, it's the little Kern Valley town brought back from the dead. Is it haunted? Who knows? John Bartel here, making a little pit stop at the Silver City Ghost Town. At the southern end of Lake Isabella, in the old gold mining town of Bodfish, there's an eerie group of uninhabited buildings that might send chills down your spine.
Do you think this place is haunted?
A lot of people have experiences, that's for sure. Just in the jail alone, people have reported such things as something brushing up against them, pulling their hair, poking them in the back.
Enter if you dare. This is Silver City Ghost Town, and owner Sean Corlew says the supposed paranormal activity is one reason that many people visit this tourist attraction.
A lot of people visit for that reason, and then other people do not visit for that reason whatsoever.
The rickety old boardwalk and uneven buildings may look like something out of an old Western movie, and it kinda is, but the weather-beaten buildings are actually a captive reconstruction of Kern Valley's mid-19th century mining camps.
So a lot of the structures here were actually saved from the old town of Isabella, which was flooded to create Lake Isabella just down the street here.
They were brought from all over the Kern River Valley in an effort to preserve and save them. We've got 7 different towns represented here.
In the 1960s and 70s, locals Dave and Arvilla Mills rescued over 20 historical structures from abandoned settlements, then trucked them to Bodfish to put them on display.
There's a story that more than one of the buildings actually fell off of its trailer and was in the middle of the road for several hours in the late 1960s.
Well, that may explain why some of the buildings are crooked, but if you ask me, the out-of-plumb walls only add to the history.
Well, the old Marshall building was actually relocated from the Big Blue mine, which was one of the first mines in the area to discover gold.
Over 1 million ounces of gold was discovered in the Kern River Valley, but when those mines went bust, the area turned into a farming community.
Well, the old farmhouse here is believed to be the oldest structure still standing in Kern Valley. Inside, you'll find some creepy mannequins, and on the porch here, this strange-looking 3-legged chair.
All these years, no one's known for sure exactly what it is. Lots of good guesses. Our best guess is that it perhaps might be a dentist chair or a birthing chair.
There are endless odd and unexplainable artifacts inside the ghost town, and that's one reason that Sean's late father, J. Paul Corlew, purchased the property back in the 1990s.
His heart was in history and preserving it, and we thought this place would make a great museum.
Whether you're history curious or simply just eager for a hauntingly beautiful slice of the Old West, the Silver City Ghost Town is a must-stop in the Kern River Valley.
From the Silver City Ghost Town, I'm John Bartel. Hope to see you on the back roads.
But first, from a ghost town to new life.
Yeah, the Sacramento Zoo has some new residents. Take a look at this. New Caribbean flamingos have started to hatch. Keep in mind they're born white and turn pink as they grow because of the pigments found in their food. And it doesn't take long for them to start checking everything out.
Around days 3 to 5, the chick kind of starts wandering off that nest mound and just starts walking around, starts, learning how to be a flamingo from the other adults. Everybody kind of accepts the chicks. Like, it's not like introducing a new animal to the group. Everybody just kind of is like, oh, there's a chick.
Look at there. They started hatching on July 4th, and they don't even have names yet, but are they not just adorable?
Take a look. 47 years ago, theaters across the country saw the first ever Summer of Superman. Tomorrow, the newest version of Man of Steel will take flight in one of the year's most anticipated movies. ABC 10's Marcus Allen has already seen it. He gets the sneak peek on all of these flicks. And thumbs up, yes?
Yes, sir. I'll throw in 2 of those. 2 thumbs up. It's one of the most debated movies of the summer as well. My embargo has been lifted. I can tell you I liked it. Is it my favorite movie of the summer? Probably not, but it's still really good, and it's going to be hot. A great way to escape the heat, if nothing else. Let's talk about your Superman, David Corenswet. He's not exactly a newcomer. If you were a fan of The Politician on Netflix, he was the lead in that. Rachel Brosnahan is your Lois Lane. She's phenomenal. But right now, let's take a look at David. Roll the clip.
What is this? Crypto! What the hey, dude? I thought you destroyed the whole Superman robots. I thought I told you to keep an eye on him.
We feed the canine, but he is unruly. And he realizes we are not flesh and blood and couldn't, in our heart of hearts, care less whether he lives or dies.
Stop, Crypto.
To have a director who is so known for spectacle and for heart as well, but I think he has a great simplicity to the heart in his films. To realize that he also is interested in incredibly complex dialogue. There was nothing that was off the table. There was nothing that was not of interest to him. The first time I saw a glimpse in the monitor, after we had shot something, I saw a little bit of playback of me in the suit on camera. I thought, yeah, that looks pretty freaking cool. It's going to be a fun movie. We've got a great cast, love hanging out with each other, and are very excited about what we're making. I think we're making some really cool stuff that's going to be worth waiting for and worth getting hyped about and worth seeing on a big screen.
That is a great scene. I think it tips the hat that there's a lot of CG going on, but there's a lot of practical, and that guy fills the suit out. I think you're going to dig it. Walt Gray, you just had a great point. He kind of looks like an amalgam of everybody that's played Superman. Yeah. And coming up in the 7 o'clock, Christopher Reeve's son is going to weigh in on it. What are your thoughts?
Well, Will Reeve, who, if you watch ABC, right. Will Reeve is on Good Morning America, the son of Christopher Reeve.
That's who's coming up in the 7.
Yeah, and then the original Superman, when I was a kid, was George Reeves.
Same last name with an S.
Yeah, just it all sort of comes all together, doesn't it?
It does come together. And you mentioned earlier, how about the Margot Kidder was the 78 Lois Lane. How is the new Margot Kidder, the new Lois Lane? Very similar, especially in voice. Rachel Brosnahan joins us 9:30 tomorrow morning for a special Take a Look.
The show. Okay.
The show. Back to you.
Friday morning. Thank you, sir.
Tonight in our Champions of Hope, he's known for making big plays in the NFL, but it's what he's doing off the field that's making just as big of an impact. Sacramento native Eric Armstead is using his platform to give back by launching a nonprofit that's investing in the next generation. Here's a look at how he's turning his success into impact.
Ready? Go!
I'm from Sacramento, California.
Good job! What grade are you in? 6, you right here.
It's important for me to give back to the 916.
Hey!
The area that raised me, it's made me the man that I am today.
NFL star Eric Armstead isn't just making plays on the field, he's making a difference off of it. The Jacksonville Jaguars defensive end was honored with the Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year Award for his impact in the community.
Thank you for your commitment to our communities nationwide.
The award recognizes players who lead with purpose and have a deep commitment to community service.
You know, just being a product of Sacramento, and I know a lot of people take a lot of pride in my career and the things that I'm doing both on and off the field, and just being a representative of, you know, where I'm from. And so it's definitely a huge honor, and I don't take it lightly, and I realize the significance of it.
Armstead started a football camp in 2015, which has grown into something much bigger.
I didn't feel that it was fair that certain young people's opportunities were being determined by where they lived. And so I wanted to help the most disadvantaged students, realize their potential and become successful.
Good catch. In 2019, Armstead turned his passion for giving back into the Armstead Academic Project, committing $2 million to help kids in Sacramento and the Bay Area thrive. From after-school support to college and career exposure, the goal is simple: give students the tools they need to succeed, both in and out of the classroom.
That's good. They was running 6'4".
This week, Armstead is heading back to Sacramento again, hosting his free football camp where hundreds of kids come together for football fundamentals and educational workshops. But Armstead says it's not just a football camp.
I use football as a lure to get people there, but really partnering with Sacramento State and having a college tour, having financial literacy workshop and a wellness workshop.
If there's one message he wants young people to hear, it's this.
Be inspired to whatever goal or dream they have, to go out there and achieve it. Work hard and be willing to make sacrifices to achieve their goals in life.
Say happy birthday, 1, 2, 3. Say hungry!
And this year's free camp is Saturday at Sacramento State.
Thank you so much for watching this ABC10 Plus recap. We're here 24/7 on the free ABC10 Plus TV streaming app. You can get your local news and weather anytime, anywhere. I'm Laura Painter. Take care. I'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching ABC10 Plus. And now that you're here, why don't we take a look around and see what else is here? The very first tile on your left is always going to be streaming 24/7. You can find us adjacent to that, breaking news if it's there. And then right next to that, a replay of the most recent newscast. Whether it's ABC10 Morning News at 5, 6, or beyond, it's going to be there. The forecast beyond that, and then right beyond that, the news that matters the most. Now that you know the basic tiles, let's go up to the top and take a deeper dive into news. We have every single newscast that you would need, including To the Point with Alex Bell, taking a deeper dive into the issues. Beyond that, ABC10 Morning News at 5 and 6 and 11, the evening shows as well. Below that, you can watch the top stories from To the Point. Under that, Dollars and Cents, where you can learn how to navigate this challenging economy. And below that, you can watch our award-winning ABC10 Special Investigations, where we hold the powerful accountable. Going into weather, look, it's the 10-day forecast, getting you ready for the weekend and beyond. Beyond that, sports. I know you care about the Sacramento Kings. We have the most comprehensive guide to anything, everything Kings in the locker room and on the court. We have it. Below that, I know you care about the San Francisco 49ers. Up now to shows. Very excited about this. Oh, look. It's Take a Look. This is my show. I love movies, and if you love movies or streaming shows, whether it's on screens this big, or this big, it's Take a Look. Recently went behind the scenes, sat down with Lady Gaga and Joaquin Phoenix to talk about Joker 2. I love the movie, and oh, I just heard you shout you hate the movie. Jump in, we talk about it on this show. Other shows, Bartell's Backroads, go up and down the state of California, tank of gas getaways, one fuel cell getaway, like places like the Toy Museum. This is what kids did before they had screens. Over here, the Moaning Caverns of Calaveras County, one of the most coveted caves in all of California. You know, watching this show, I discovered there's a cave that could fit the entire Statue of Liberty in your own backyard. You'll find about that and more with Bartell's Backroads. Down below that, To the Point. It is one of my favorite newscasts because they talk about news with Alex Bell the way you talk about news. It's conversational, but in-depth at the same time. Below that, Your California Life. Love this show. Whether it's entertainment, food, beverage, lifestyle, it's there. Desiree Shepherd hosts and does an amazing job. So there you have it. It's ABC10 Plus, the app. What do you need? We heard you and we got it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for streaming.